everyone, and welcome to Wildcard Wednesday, September 9th, 2009. Fall is definitely in the air, so I thought I would create some cards that had a fruit and vegetable theme to them. So today we're going to be using the Tart and Tangy stamp set, as well as a little birthday cheer. We're going to be using some acrylic paint and a paintbrush, as well as our Stampin' Write markers. For cardstock today, we're going to be using the Rich Razzleberry, cut 6 by 3 and then scored at 3 to make a 3 by 3 card. We're going to be making a set of 4 cards, as well as the Razzleberry designer paper, and I've taken a selection of 4 different prints and cut each one 3 by 3 inches square. And you're going to also need the Whisper White, a pencil, a ruler, and also some basic black. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is score all of our cards at the 3-inch there, and then adhere the printed paper on top. Okay, I had to change my camera mid-filming, so I apologize for that. But I went ahead and covered my 3 by 3 cards, as you can see, with the Razzleberry designer paper. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our 1 1/4 inch punch here, and we're going to punch a window in the front of this card. Now, the best way that I can tell you how to do it, because I have to use 2 hands, you're going to take a ruler and you're going to measure down 1.5 inches from the top, because this is a 3 by 3 card. So you're going to find your 1.5 inch mark and mark it with a pencil right there. Then you're going to turn it this way and mark it with a pencil right there. So you can see right there where I marked it there, and then I marked it here, and then I have the lines intersect, and where they intersect in the middle is the center of the card. So I'm going to take my punch and I'm going to use that center and try and center the square and have that as my center and punch out the window. So you can see I've got that little cross centered in there, and then I'm just going to go ahead and punch it out. So as you can see, all 4 little mini cards have windows inside of them. The next step I'm going to take our Tart and Tangy stamps, and I'm going to color them individually with our Stampin' Write markers and then stamp them down. The ink from the markers is very similar to the ink from the Stampin' Up! Ink pads. So first I'll start with the orange slice here, and I'll go on from there. Ahead and punched out our fruit with our 1 1/4 inch square punch, which is going to fit right inside of the window of our card. But before we do that, I want to take some acrylic paint and just brush a little band of paint across the bottom here, and that's where we're going to stamp our sentiment on top of the paint. So I've just taken some light yellow paint here, and I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. While we're waiting for the cards to dry. I'm going to use this Perfect Plum craft ink, and I'm just going to ink around the edges of the little squares there, and then ink around, once the card's dry, the edges of the card. And this was the perfect match to the Rich Razzleberry, was this Perfect Plum. So all of our card fronts are now dry and inked all the way around, as well as our fruit has just a little touch of that purple ink around the edges. And so the next step, we're going to take our sentiment and just basic black ink and stamp the sentiment right here on the front of each card. There are 4 different sentiments, so I'm going to use one on each card. So I'm just finishing stamping my last stamp. This one says, "Celebrate You." I just put this little box underneath because my table isn't a really hard surface, and sometimes the stamping doesn't take very well. So that's a little tip, to always make sure you stamp on a hard surface. So the next thing I'm going to do is apply some adhesive on the back of my strawberry. And the wonderful thing about punching the stamp, the window out the exact same size as you cut out your image, is when you apply your adhesive, you press it through, then you open it up, and you're sure that you have a perfect placement of your image inside the window. So I just have to go ahead and apply adhesive, and then I'll be done all 4 cards. So there, I've applied the adhesive, and there we have our image perfectly placed inside the window. So this one says, "Celebrate You." The apple says, "And You Thought I Forgot." And the orange says, "Happy Birthday." And the last one, the cherries, say, "Make a Wish." So these are our little mini card sets for this week. I'm going to be posting this set for sale on Etsy in the next day or 2. And I'm going to make some homemade envelopes, although Stampin' Up! Does sell some beautiful 3x3 perfect envelopes that would fit these cards lovely. So I hope in the meantime that if you have a garden, and I hope that you have an abundant harvest, and that there's lots in store for you and your family as we head into the winter months. So we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.